Welcome to ATAPS introduction video. ATAPS is a customer relationship management system or software which has been specially developed and adapted to waste management companies that collect waste. In this video, I will guide you through all the ATAPS system sections and tell you in a very short manner what's inside each section. The very first thing we should log into the ATAPS system with your login and password. After logging in, we are in the contract section. This is the main working section with the system. In this section, you can search the contracts already entered in the system by many filters, using any of them or combination of them. Either it's you search by the contract template or by the region where the contract is signed, or any other available filters here. So it's a powerful search options for the contracts. The left side contains the short links to the other related sections within the main section we are inside. The system has 5 main sections: the contracts, which are all about the contracts, signing contracts, configuring contracts, etc. The export sections, it's all about the provision of services. So basically it's the waste or the garbage export services provided. So all the tools which are here helps to configure correctly the service provision processes. After that, the third section is invoicing, which has all the things which is necessary for invoicing and for actual balance keeping for each of the clients. Report section has a list of reports about existing data in the systems, and the debt section contains the debitors which we can work with. The left section also contains a block which highlights some problems which should be taken care within the system, and also the short things, the account block where you can log out or change the account settings for your login name, also the contact which you can use to contact ATAPS support service, the SMS management panel, and so on. So let's go through each of the section in the fast manner. I'll describe you what's inside. Start with contracts. The first page we already see and know how it works. In this section we can add a new contract. In the more details, I will tell you this how to do in the different video. We can have a list of incomplete contracts here. We can find all the contracts which are not fully completed, so all the information in the contract is not entered here. You can find all the contracts here. The templates. There are contract templates, also the template for payment schedule, also template for invoice. So these are template manager, which is very easy to use in a very common way to use a text editor to configure the templates and use the placeholders within a template which will be replaced by the data from within the system. The next is a contract changes report, where you can find it's kind of to-do list where you can find all the things you should do with the contracts, but which are not yet done. Container field report or settings, so where can you set up the container fields. You can look at your clients on the map based view in this report. There is an option to send a calendar for all of your clients. It's usually done once per year or in the December, so the client gets the calendar for the next year and knows when the service will be provided for him. There are contracts export, which exports all the contracts in XML format or in CSV format if you need them. There is an option to change a period of contracts, the period where the contract is active within this report. There are configuration options where you can manage your address settings, so villages, municipalities. Also, it's contains the management tools for container types, and your fleet or trucks management also is done by this simple report. You can search the items and you can add them, you can remove them and configure them here. It's kind of inventory management. And the separate is container inventory management, where you can find all the containers within the system which are numbered, so you can work with them, you can have a search them and do things. This is like also kind of inventory management tool, probably in a bit simplified way than in other systems. The next big section is the export section. The first item basically generates the exports for the current date, and you can work with them here. I will explain in deeper way how it works in a different video. Let's go through all the subsections in this main section. So there is a tool to manage the roads view, so you can add them more or remove them if they are not necessary anymore. Routes setup section allows you to move multiple addresses between roads, so it's easier to group or regroup or rearrange the existing roads. So, for example, if you plan to reorganize somehow the roads in your company. Route management means so that you can arrange the addresses within one of the roads in the order which they should be processed. Let's move forward. Export schedules or seasons. This report showed the schedules, those schedules which belongs or are marked as used for more than one client, and you can see the statistics how many clients uses the exact one schedule in this report, so you know how many clients will be affected if you change one of those schedules. Container season setup section allows you to change the schedule for the clients, for multiple clients at once. So you can search for clients using various filter criteria. And then mark them. And for example, to remove the existing schedule or change the schedule to another one schedule. For example, first and the third week on Friday. So this report allows to play around with the schedules for the clients, multiple clients at once. Sometimes it's useful if you are doing some reorganization of service provision calendars or client schedules. In this report, you can set up the address coordinates for clients, so it's one of the options to set them manually by using the service, the web service of the map provider. For example, in Latvia, the Baltic Maps service provides the automatic search for coordinates of addresses by using the address text. So it's probably in your case we can do something similar. Planet Exports report allows you to look on the amounts, the quantity of waste which will be collected at the period you select here within the period selection boxes. And also you can use additional filters so you can understand in which region or municipality or on which parish how many waste in which period will be collected. It's planned to collect it. This information comes from the contract calendars or from the contract schedulers. So you will be in care of how many waste will be collected in which period of time in your clients, from your clients. Truck map is an interactive map. You can see where each of the truck is located right now. Road to messaging section allows you to send messages to roads. For example, if the car breaks in the middle of the road, you're able to select only those clients which are not yet service provided for which, and send out the SMS or email messages to the clients with warnings that the car has been broken and will not come to pick up the waste from the client. This report history or planned actual gives you understanding what was planned amount of waste collected from each of the addresses, comparing with the real amount of waste collected in each of address in a period of 1 year. And the system gives you a difference calculation in percents, what is the difference between the planned and the actual waste collected. This is it for exports section, so let's move to the invoices section. Briefly and fast we will go through. The invoice sections show you the invoices generated for the period. How it's done we will cover in a different video tutorial. Invoice operations, it's what will be covered also in a different tutorial, but basically it's a section where you generate the invoices. Suspicious clients allows you to search for the clients which are signed contract at the same period, the one period of time, and waste is not collected within the other period of time. One of the existing ATAPS clients asks us to do such a report, and probably for you this report also will be useful. The transactions, you can search for the bank transactions imported in the ATAPS system from this section, and also you can import the transactions here from this section, FIDAVista transaction import. ATAPS understands the FIDAVista file format from the bank, so you can use it to import transactions within the system. Also, there is possibility to add transaction manually. For example, if you have kind of money receiving in a different way, not through the bank, so it's possible to register transactions also manually within that system. Also, there are duplicate invoice report. If you by accident have generated a double invoice, the same invoice twice for the clients, sometimes it can happen if you play around with the invoice generation tool and try to make invoices manual as well, because it's possible within the ATAPS system, so the system can show you if there's some overlaps of the invoices are here. And invoice checking also is a report where the system tries to check invoices if something is not right. So the reports section contains a list of reports, basically, which are used to generate the invoice. And also these reports can be used by analyzing what has happened within the system. These reports are based on the data within the system, actually collected data for actually provided services and related data with them. I will not go through each of the reports in this tutorial, so it will take a long time because each report has some specific data within it. And that section contains all the debitors ordered by the largest debitor at the moment on the top, and you can look through them and start probably processing a debt process if it's necessary. So it's again useful section, useful report you can use when working with your debitors. Also, there's a possibility to export debitors Excel file, which will give you more details on what of the period the debt has come from, etc. So this is it. We have covered in a very short and very fast manner all the sections within the ATAPS system. If your company will need some specific report, some specific section within the ATAPS system, it's possible to make it, because all the reports you see here, all the things are developed from the initiatives from the existing ATAPS clients, so they needed the additional reports to work the way they want. So the ATAPS system is adaptable to each situation. Also, I believe it will be adaptable for your specific needs as well. This is it for this video. ATAPS, smart support keeping environment clean.